In this episode, I'm interviewing my own firstborn daughter, Reagan McGuire Keenan. That's right, I have a daughter who's married. Can you believe it? Well, she's gonna tell us all what she did after she got married and her new journey in life. So thanks, and here's our new episode. Welcome back. My name is Tammy McGuire, and today we're interviewing my firstborn daughter, Reagan McGuire Keenan.
So I'm 22 years old. I was married a year ago, almost 2 years, and I recently, I guess 5 months ago, found out I'm pregnant.
Yay! I'm gonna be a grandmother. The neat thing is her name is
Emilia.
Emilia. Isn't that beautiful? Foster Closet has a yearly fashion show, and 2 of those back-to-back were with a sibling group of 3.
The young girl who was in foster care, she was at your tea and fundraiser, and Austin and I both met her, and we instantly bonded with her. She was a little bit more attached to Austin's hip, and throughout the whole 2 years, we just kept thinking about her, and we were just like, gosh, that little girl was the most perfect little girl. And then going back to this year, Austin was out of town on a business trip. However, when I was volunteering to do the hair and makeup, he put my hands over my mouth, and I was like, do you remember me? And she was like, yeah. And that was such a really cool and touching moment. It was very hard for me to grasp the fact that she was still in care, because she has had, she had all of these amazing qualities. And so I ended up calling Austin after the fact, and we both agreed that we would want to foster her.
I remember that day because she came up to me and started crying and said, I've got something to tell you. And so it's almost like that moment where you love at first sight, where you find someone that you want to fall in love with. I think that was your moment. So can you tell us what is going on and what that process looked like when you thought about bringing the children into your home?
I had to take pride training. It was a very beneficial class to both Austin and I. We learned a lot. It was also, we were guided by an instructor who we were able to talk to through every process of everything that was going on with the kids, and she was super helpful with us. And then we ended up graduating from that while the children were still in our home. So they were placed as a non-relative placement for quite some time, and then we recently became a level 1.
The children, talk about how when they first came in, how some of them were struggling with school and certain things like that.
So when the children came into our home originally, they guided them in the right direction. One of the children who is in our, he wasn't really going to school at all. The oldest, he's always been super responsible. He's very, very helpful. So he stayed true to himself. And then we had a little one who was struggling a lot in school, didn't really know a lot of information that she should for her grade level. And then now it's crazy to me to see that she's making B's in math, and it's a huge jump. One of our children in our home also loves going to school now. He is very responsible. His growth is just amazing to me. It's been big.
So the one we're talking about is now making better choices and who they hang around with, but more importantly, school. And I do think I want to just re-emphasize that a caregiver can make a difference, and role models can make a difference, and really pouring into the kid and making sure the kid feels validated and make sure the kid feels like they're a part of the decision making. Now loving school means maybe they're more active in after curricular activities or some sports or different things like that, and I have seen the children grow into themselves, which is really beneficial. Now, not necessarily saying that they'll be with you forever or make that choice to be with them forever. One of them is in extended foster care and thriving and going to be moving out onto his own, which is amazing and what we all want. But the neat thing is they're going to be still a family unit, even though they might not live forever with each other, and they will still be connected thanks to Austin and Reagan and how they make it work. So we don't want to make any announcements right now about the longevity and the permanency, but we do want you to know that it's hopeful and hopefully securing it soon, and then we can come back with the ones that are going to be a forever part of the family and a Keenan part of the family, and we'll interview them at that later time. But for this episode, we just wanted to thank you for coming in, sharing your journey. But the ups and downs are pretty important as a caregiver versus a biological family. You get to see what we went through, right? As the caregivers. And the neat thing is I didn't have that kind of role model or someone to roll back on. I didn't have a mentor. And that's where I wanted to stop and say that all caregivers in foster care needs a mentor. So Foster Closet has that role, and we have some wonderful vetted foster families who are ready to help, newbies like Reagan and Austin, and also that's where our support, like we said, the support group from the last episode can help those families too. So going forward, what do you think is your takeaway moment that was that light bulb moment for you as a family that says we're going to keep going and we're going to make it work for these kids?
I would have to say the biggest thing that would make us keep going, that has made us keep going, is the fact that you can't rely just on a system to support the children. I think that the caregivers play the most important role, and that they are the voice for the children, and it just depends on the situation of it, but I do believe that it's important to have that voice for the kids. So as long as I possibly can, I will continue to do this for all three of them, because they deserve to have that person who is sticking up for them and, you know, just protecting them from everything.
And if you can remember that one thing that I said at the last episode with Jessica, that when I go and speak, I talk about using your purpose from your past, because your past brings you purpose, and how God puts things in your life that you can fall back on to pull you to the future and what your purpose is. And for Reagan, I think being not only being her mom, but being her foster care mentor, that having that role model of falling back on foster care has brought her to this moment. So thank you for sharing, and we hope that you can look at how you can help look after the foster children by what Reagan has learned from her past and the purpose that God has put inside her. I hope that you have learned something new today. I hope that bringing foster to family has brought a new perspective, and not only a biological view, but also a non-relative view. And we hopefully will have some more people that can bring you different viewpoints from their direction. But thank you so much, and I love you. Mwah. Tune in next time for how you can foster to family or support those foster to family. I'm Tammy McGuire, and see you next time.